Yo guys, it's April 15th, which means it's tax deadline. This is my second year of doing taxes. It's fucking bizarre, guys. Like, I don't know how many of you guys have been doing your taxes, but for me, doing taxes is a fairly new thing. With that said, I want to say, like, I did do my taxes before I even made this video. Like, I did my taxes 5 days ago. I got a pretty hefty return from the federal government, from the Oregon state government, and on top of the Oregon state government, we have this thing called a kicker. So if they take out too much tax, if they tax the residents of Oregon too much and they have a surplus after the budget is over, they can do one of two things: into public necessities like education, infrastructure, whatever, or they can do the politically advantageous thing and give it back as a kicker. And so that's what we got. So I got some money from there. Overall, I got about $1,500 in total in tax returns, including the kicker. And as someone who hasn't worked at all for an entire year, I didn't know that I was going to be getting money this year, but that makes sense because we're filing for the previous year, which makes all the sense, but I guess it wasn't really fully clicking into my head of how this worked because this year was literally the second time I've ever done it. I used Turbotax. I used their free version of it. Thank God the IRS, if you guys didn't know this, the IRS is now offering a free service to do your taxes. Honestly, I think all taxes should be done in a free way unless you really have like tremendous assets. But like for simple people like you and me, like we don't need that, and we can get the free version just as fine. That said, I do have stocks on Robinhood, and so when I was going to be doing my taxes this year, they had an option of like, well, they were asking like questions, and then they had the option of like, do you want the free one or the consultation one? And I was like, the free one. And then after I clicked the free one, they're like, do you have any do you have any like digital assets like stocks and cryptos? And I'm like, yes. And so I clicked that, and then they wanted me to pay. They wanted me to do a paid version. I'm like, fuck that. And so I went back, unchecked that, and then went into the site and did all of the things I did. And then fortunately near the end, before finalizing everything, they asked like, oh, do you own any stocks, cryptocurrencies? And I'm like, bet, yes I do. And so I put in all my information. Fortunately, they connected with Robinhood, so those two accounts talk to each other, and I already had like a digital statement for the cryptocurrencies and for the stocks. I only was like, I didn't make really any money. Like, this is all like micro, like, what's the word? Anyway, these are just really low valued assets because I have like no money. Anyway, so I did all that. This is my life hack for y'all. If you are like me, who maybe not have a job or had a couple of jobs, but all in all doesn't have that many assets, maybe you have a few stocks in Robinhood, don't tell them, actually, I'm not a financial advisor, so don't fucking listen to me, but listen to me. Don't tell TurboTax that you have those assets until you get into the free part. And then before you submit everything to the IRS, like way before all that, it gives you an option to like say, like clarify, like, do you have any stocks or cryptos that need to be accounted for? Then I'm like, yes I do. And then you don't have to get paid. Then you don't have to pay for it. And I thought that was really awesome. So that's my life hack for you guys in terms of taxes. But I'm just so happy that they've made the tax process streamlined, like so much more easier. This can't just be me, but like growing up, I was kind of like told like taxes are obviously the worst, the worst, but B is like it's just this really complicated tax system that makes no sense, and that you really do need a professional to like walk you through it. And again, I barely own any. I don't have anything. I have my laptop. But other than that, I don't have anything really. So it wasn't a big thing. But if you're like in your 20s and you're like me, like it's a perfect solution. And I'm just glad that if you don't want to use the private option like Turbotax or H&R Block, that you have a public option through the IRS that is free. Because as I was saying earlier, it should just be free. We're trying to pay to run the fucking government, you know? So why are you taxing us? Why are you getting like all professional? Maybe this might be the socialist in me. I'm just saying, like, if you want my money, why don't you pay to help get it from me? Right? Like, I think that's fair. Put down in the comments if you think that's fair. Yeah. Another tax season came and went, and we're waiting again for another April 15th. I'm optimistic that the next April 15th, I will have money. That's what I want. That's what I'm hoping for. And I'm hoping that for you guys too. Anyway, guys, this was an interesting video. I just wanted to like share a little bit about the tax process and what it was like for me, and just to share with you guys a little information that I didn't know ahead of time, but I found out due to my curiosity. Anyway, guys, I post new videos every single day if you're unaware of that. And if you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. Oh, we don't just talk about taxes, but I just do new videos every single day, and I just choose topics that are of interest to me, or I'm just sharing directly with you guys of how my day is going and what little side quests I'm up to. So it's really fun. You should totally join. Press subscribe. Anyway, guys, I will see you in the next video. Peace. Love you guys. Bye. Okay, guys, this is just a future Ricky intervention. This is actually a fucking pet peeve of mine that I'm surprised I forgot to put in the video immediately. So the reason why the IRS has finally a free option is after years of private companies like H&R Block, Intuit TurboTax lobbying the US government for there not to be a free option so they can charge Americans up the wazoo. But it reached a fever pitch. It reached a breaking point to where like the government couldn't just get lobbied around, pushed around. And so now the government has a free option through the IRS. I know the IRS sounds scary, the Republicans, even the Democrats fearmonger it, but it's really an important institution, and unfortunately it's not being utilized to tax the very rich and make sure the people in the highest tiers, there are actual societal consequences when they do not pay their fair share. But when we don't, we are the ones who face the most disgusting attacks. But that said, the IRS, I know we hate paying into it, but they're our friends at the end of the day. They help our country run, they fuel society. So I just wanted to interject that we are on a new horizon, but there's still a lot more work to be done.